Will there be a season 2 of Ginny and Georgia? Here's everything we know. I'm Gabby Conti, and this is your 24/7 celebrity news. Netflix Ginny and Georgia was just #1 on the streaming platform. While this mother-daughter duo might not seem to have a ton in common at first, they learned throughout the first season that after moving to a small town in Wellsbury, Massachusetts, that they actually are more alike than they ever knew. Fans have fallen in love with this show despite a Taylor Swift joke that even got Taylor herself to call out Netflix. So fans are wondering, is there going to be a season 2 of this show? I feel like that is always the question, especially when you have a show where you could binge the whole first season. You're like, what's next? Where is it? I want to know. Well, we do have some answers, but no official announcement as we report this. As we report this, Ginny and Georgia has not been officially picked up for a second season, but that doesn't mean that this couldn't happen. Typically, when shows become a hit with their first season on Netflix, a renewal happens soon after. Just look at shows like Outer Banks or Emily in Paris, both shows that were also #1 on Netflix, like Ginny and Georgia, that then went on to have announcements of getting a season 2. If this show gets picked up for a second season, we could expect even more of a wild ride. As the show's creator, Sarah Lambert, told the Oprah magazine, that we are just getting to know the citizens of Wellsbury. As she said, quote, "Season 1 really did feel like a season 1. We just started uncovering some of the layers for all these characters across the board that we want to dive into. Deb and I are hoping we get the chance," end quote. And I think fans are really hoping that we get the chance to see what happens in the next season, especially with all the cliffhangers that season 1 ended up with, which, speaking of cliffhangers, I'm about to get into that, so spoiler alerts. If you have not finished binging the series, do that before you hear the rest of this. So it's too early to know if this hit show will officially get a second season, but yes, there were a lot of cliffhangers, and usually this kind of news is released after the platform has a show for a couple of months, but so much has happened in the season 1 finale that really left fans on a cliffhanger. Season 1 ended with Georgia appearing to get away with the murder of her ex-husband after she used fireworks to get rid of his ashes. Ginny also took Marcus's bike to run away from home with Austin, and this was after a big blow-up at school where Mang found out that Ginny cheated on Hunter with Marcus. So the group might not stay together despite everything they've been through. That definitely was one of the biggest draws to the show, was the friend group that Ginny had with Mang, which was all of the girls' first names, the initials for that. So to see that that kind of was on the rocks at the end was heartbreaking. Other cliffhangers on the show include how Ginny told Marcus that things are fine between them, even though she said that they are getting together was a mistake. Max and Marcus also got into a really big fight with everything happening at school, so fans want to know what will happen to Ginny's friend group. Will Georgia or Marcus go looking for Ginny? And also, where did Ginny exactly run away to? Also, since Ginny left Wellsbury at the end of season 1, we don't know if season 2 will take place in Wellsbury or somewhere else like Boston, as it would make sense for her to, run away to the big city. Fans are hoping Ginny comes home so they can see all of their favorite characters get back together again. Interesting, that has a very similar end of season 1 as we saw with Outer Banks, where they also escaped at the end of that. And obviously, I feel like usually season 2 episode 1 will kind of deal with the aftermath of that, but then you'll see the whole cast back together, I think. What do you guys think? What are your season 2 predictions for Ginny and Georgia? What do you think will happen? Let us know. I'm Gabby Conti, and follow us at Hollywire for your 24/7 celebrity news.